Welcome to Catholic Charities, New Hampshire's 15th annual Mardi Gras. We hope you enjoy today's show. And here's your host, New Hampshire's own Mike Morin.
Welcome, everybody, and happy Fat Tuesday. We have a fun show lined up for you today, and as we get underway, I have the privilege and distinct honor of introducing Bishop Peter Labashi to open our program. Bishop?
Well, hi, everybody. Here we are, not at our annual Mardi Gras celebration and festival and fundraiser, sponsored by Catholic Charities for the good of our people who are most in need. We're used to this in so many ways. We know even before February comes around, it's going to be here. It'll be the time when we could get out of the house, see our friends, go to do the silent auction, enjoy an evening out, and I can remember some of those evenings out. Some of you may remember, a few years ago, it was so cold, and the ice was thick all around, yet people made it. And parking spaces to try to get as close to the Marriott as you possibly could, impossible. It was a great turnout, even under that terrible weather that we had. Everybody wanted to be there. And so here we are together under different circumstances, but each and every one so glad to participate, so glad to support the work of Catholic Charities. We know that during this time, so much has been, in flux and change, but the continued work of so many people. Do you know every one of the programs that Catholic Charities ran all the way through without stopping? How it was that everybody pulled together, inventive, creative, and you know how much that means to people when they say, "Can you help?" And all of a sudden the network starts, everybody's happy because people were waiting at their computers, at their phones. There were Zoom meetings, all these things, just so that there would not be a lag, a wondering, where is, how is. This is great. And so that's why this evening we're getting together, we're celebrating the work that has been done, the work that continues to be done, and to ensure and underwrite the work that still needs to be done. I'm so happy to be here speaking with you and so grateful to all of you, all of our donors, all of our supporters, and absolutely all of our staff at Catholic Charities and all of our friends who help us in so many ways. Want to say thank you to those who are never afraid to call and ask for help. Those who are able to say, "I do need something," rather than getting into the most dire predicaments, how they know they can move lives forward just by making that approach to Catholic Charities, and they find a welcoming presence and a listening ear. So, here I am talking to you on video and on TV, as it were, and all I could think of in doing this was a movie that we watched as kids. We loved it. It was these two people, this guy and this gal, and they were doing with a lariat, and they were this and that, and they were talking, and then they says, "Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Come over here, Joe." And it was a great, big, huge gorilla, Mighty Joe Young. I don't know if you remember it, but it was kind of like the tame and friendly King Kong. And Mighty Joe Young, he was trained from the time he was a little tiny thing. And in one of the great scenes, there was a fire in an orphanage, and they couldn't get the kids out. And Mighty Joe Young, this great big gorilla, was climbing up the building and climbing up trees and bringing down these tiny little kids in their sleeping outfits and whatnot. It was a powerful movie, a little bit saccharine, but a great, beautiful movie. And the final shot was just these people waving and saying, "Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe." So I'm not going to say to some gorilla, "Come on over." I'm going to say to the rest of the show, "Come on, everybody. Come on." These people are in their homes. They're having to cook their own meal. They're having to make their own appetizers. They're making their own tables, and they're clearing their own dishes. And they don't care because they're here to support, and we want to give you the greatest show on earth. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. And we pray, bless your people, O Lord, who do good works. Bless your people, O Lord, who support good works. Bless your people, O Lord, who are the recipients of these good works, and bring us all together this night and always. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God bless you all. Have a wonderful Mardi Gras.
Thank you so much, Bishop. All right, here's some great auction items that you can check out, and some free and fun raffles in our virtual game book, and special guests coming your way. Don't worry, I'll remind you how to find all that a bit later. But right now, I'd like to start things off with a very special thank you to our presenting sponsor, CGI Benefit Solutions. And you know, all the funds raised for our virtual Mardi Gras stay right here in New Hampshire to help your neighbors in need. Now, to tell us a bit more about Catholic Charities is President and CEO Tom Blonsky. Hey, Tom.
Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon. Welcome to our 15th annual Mardi Gras celebration. So happy you could join us. Happy Shrove Tuesday. I'd like to begin by thanking our presenting sponsor, CGI Benefit Solutions, our broadcast sponsor, Harvard Pilgrim, and so many others who've made today possible. Recently, I heard a talk by Lisa Bolster from Dayton, Ohio, where she discussed the loss of the assumptive world. And if there's one word that can define how the last year has been for so many of us, I think it'd be loss. Physical loss, personal loss, emotional loss, or for some others, spiritual loss. Our loss of the assumptive world has shattered all of our expectations and notions of what life should have been or could have been over this past year. This has been and continues to be a heavy weight to bear for many as the pandemic continues to rage on. Early last year, shortly after our ice ball where we celebrated our 75th anniversary, when the pandemic began, we quickly had to pivot and adapt our services to best respond to the immediate changing needs around our state. While many of our services remained in person, others were remote. Our counseling therapists quickly began offering new teletherapy sessions related to grief, anxiety, depression, and substance abuse for seniors, adults, and kids, and demand increased by 38%. And while others remained at home per the governor's stay-at-home order, Catholic Charities essential staff stepped outside of their traditional roles and came in to help with additional duties to keep our programs like caregivers and Monadnock at Home up and running. Both of these programs serve vulnerable at-home seniors in Greater Manchester, Nashua, and Monadnock with food deliveries, transportation to critical medical appointments, and comfort calls, which were their lifeline in a time of so much isolation. Demand for these services increased by 41% over the last year. During this time, our community outreach team, through our 10 district offices around the state, also worked feverishly to help seniors, individuals, and families with various types of emergency assistance via help with rent, utilities, food, fuel, and even some car repairs. And demand for these services was up by a whopping 87% from the prior year. This makes me think of an LPN nurse who we helped. Terry was a single mom with 3 kids at home who was desperately trying to balance her work and parenting obligations with her kids' remote schooling. Her bills soon got ahead of her where she couldn't make ends meet. Because of you, we were able to help pay her outstanding bills and work with her to better manage her overwhelm. And because of you, she now has hope for a brighter future. If there's one thing this past year has taught me, it's gratitude. To be more grateful for so many of the big and little things that I have typically taken for granted. And gratitude most especially for you. And when I think back to our loss of the assumptive world, one thing that has not supported this notion is your continued commitment to us and belief in our work day after day, year after year. Your magnanimous hearts and eager support continues to bolster us and allows us to do the transformational work that we do. Thank you for being your brother's keeper. And thank you for turning a year of loss into a year of hope and possibility for so many. God bless.
Thank you, Tom. You've given us a lot to think about. You'll notice there are names at the bottom of your screen. Those are the wonderful people who have given so generously so far. And while we're at it, let's have a look at the thermometer. It is $62,150, and we are off to a great start to reach our fundraising goal of $200,000. Now, some of you have received a text message with a link to make your donation. If you too want to receive those mobile updates, please go to the website below and click on the button that says Sign Up for Event Updates. Or you can text Mardi Gras 2021 to 76278. Now, do you remember the Soiseau Bonnet, the raffle that you needed to enter by January 31st? Well, it's time to pick the winner of this beautiful Angela's Pasta Shop basket, sponsored by New England Private Wealth. Karen is here. She's got all the entries, shaking them up, and let's hope that I pick your name. All right, there we go. And the winner is Kathleen Kairos. Kathleen Kairos. If you didn't win, no worries, because there are more opportunities. And new this year is our virtual game book. It can be found on the Mardi Gras website. There are several prizes you can win, such as restaurant gift certificates or a New Orleans gourmet basket. And if you watch to the end of the show, we will give you a hint on where to find one of the answers. Now, bidding has already begun for the silent auction. You can bid on getaways, golf outings, dining, and more. Both the auction and game book will remain open after the show. Just scroll down on the website shown on your screen to see all the ways that you can participate. We hope you check those out. We can't do this without our generous sponsors. You'll see them on the right side of your screen. And you'll hear more about our matching gift sponsors a little bit later. Right now, though, I have the honor of introducing you to our presenting sponsor, Dan Cronin, who is the President and CEO of CGI Benefit Solutions.
Thanks, Mike. Hello, my name is Dan Cronin, and I am the President of CGI Business Solutions. At CGI, we provide specialized programs for employee benefits, property casualty insurance, payroll, and wealth management. We are so proud to once again be the presenting sponsor for this year's Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras is an event that all the team members at CGI look forward to each and every year. This year has certainly been a challenge for all of us. However, throughout it all, New Hampshire Catholic Charities has been able to provide thoughtful and compassionate care to the tens of thousands of members they serve. It's my distinct pleasure to ask you to make a donation to New Hampshire Catholic Charities. Every dollar you contribute will help us provide care for those that so desperately need it. Thank you all for attending tonight's event, and take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. As you can imagine, there are a lot of moving parts to putting together an event like this. Those parts include our crew champions. Now in New Orleans, the teams who put together the parade floats are called Crews, K-R-E-W-E-S. Here in New Hampshire, our crew champions have done a great job in reaching out to coworkers, friends, and family to raise funds for those in need. So here is a special shout out to our crew champions. We also want to send a shout out to our fantastic board members, every one of them contributing to Mardi Gras as a champion, a member, a sponsor, or a fund-a-need donor. Thank you, board members. All right, let's check on our fundraising thermometer and have a look. And we are at $97,725. Awesome. But hang tight, because in a few minutes you'll have the opportunity to have your donation matched. When you think about New Orleans, you can't help but think about the delicious shrimp dinners. Am I right? So as a bonus, for those of you who are tuned in right now, we have a special raffle. It's a chance to win a 3-course shrimp dinner for 2 from the world-famous Commander's Palace of New Orleans, delivered straight to your door. Now, you'll need a secret code for this one, so please write this number down. The code is NOLA Feast 21. You'll have until tomorrow, February 17th at 5 p.m. to go to the website listed below to enter to win. I'll repeat that code. It's NOLA Feast 21. And keep watching, because we will have another viewer-only raffle coming up a little later in the show. This year, we're very honored to have the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare folks as our broadcast sponsors. And I have the pleasure of introducing their Vice President, Mr. Bill Brewster.
I'm Bill Brewster, Vice President for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare in New Hampshire. It's a true honor to be here supporting an organization that continues to give back to our communities in need. And that's why I'd like to take the time today to simply say thank you. Thank you to everyone who's doing their part to make our community, our state, a better place to live. While the past year has been difficult for so many reasons, many have continued to go above and beyond to help their neighbors in need. Catholic Charities in New Hampshire certainly fits in that category, as do many of you watching today. So again, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your sacrifice, your donations, and your perseverance. It does not go unnoticed or unacknowledged. Thank you.
Well said, Bill, and thank you. All right, so the bidding on the silent auction has already begun. There are some great packages like this beautiful Airbnb in the White Mountains, and I think we could all use a great getaway like that about now. Or how about a foursome of golf at Candia Woods, generously donated by CGI? And for something a little bit different, how about a gift basket from the Sap House Meadery, which includes a gift certificate for a tour and tasting. And there are more great packages. It works just like eBay. You set a maximum bid, and then you get pinged if somebody outbids you. And I hate getting pinged. Don't let that happen to you. Don't worry about going there quite yet. Wait till after the show, because the silent auction will run for another week. So bid high and bid often. Now, how many of you are Bruins fans? Show of hands, please. A lot of you out there, huh? Well, we have a really cool raffle item just for you. How would you like to win a personalized message from Bruins winger Brad Marchand? You heard right, Marchand. This could be, well, for you to keep for yourself or as a gift for somebody special. And this is where another secret code comes in, so write it down. Winger63. Now, you've got until tomorrow, February 17th at 5 p.m. to enter the code at the website shown on your screen. Now I have the pleasure of introducing Catholic Charities Senior Director of Development, Karen Moynihan, to tell you a bit more about your impact. Karen?
Thank you, Mike. I so appreciate that you're part of our event again this year, Mike, our very own local celebrity. And thank you for joining us. I miss seeing you in person, but I hope you'll find this half hour with us a memorable and enjoyable Mardi Gras experience. Don't worry, I promise you we'll be back dancing again next year. For now, though, we have a very special message we'd like to share with you. Last year, Catholic Charities served 131,000 people statewide. That's 1 in 10 individuals. As I think of the work that our staff and volunteers perform every day, I'm incredibly honored to do what I do, getting their stories and messages out, to connect you with opportunities to help our staff serve our most vulnerable neighbors. Well, I could go on and on talking about what you make possible. I'd like to show you instead.
They're alone. They're down, they're gloomy, they're on the depressed side.
There are people out there who might have to choose between paying for heat and buying groceries that week. People who might not be able to get to that annual checkup, or who might have to go into assisted living when their independence is what they really value.
One of the advantages that the caregivers has is the larger umbrella of Catholic Charities. When we have a client that we know has a need, we can reach out to parish and community services, mental health services, through the district offices, a number of resources that we can make available to that client. So the caregivers is unique in the clientele that we serve, being that it's people 62 and over or doctor-verified disability that have no transportation they can utilize. They're at 130% of the poverty level, which means they do not have extra money to pay for a taxi or an Uber or the things that we would take for granted.
We really help them maintain their independence. We provide transportation to and from errands, medical appointments, anything that they may need help with transportation to and from. We also have a mobile food pantry. We do friendly visits, give them somebody that they can talk with. And we do well-being phone calls where we just give them a quick call, see how they're doing, seeing if there's anything that we can help them with at that moment, and just kind of checking in on them.
I'm getting of an age where I could use some assistance. So I thought, oh, I just need a community. They do so many wonderful things. For example, at Christmas time, I almost ran out of home heating oil. I was really, really worried. And I called Monadnock at home. And in half an hour, they had someone prepared with cans of diesel fuel to come over and replenish my furnace. I would love to be able to just stay in my home until the bitter end. And I feel that between Monadnock at Home and New Hampshire Catholic Charities, there would be a path for care and help that would help me fulfill that wish. And that gives me comfort for the future.
They rely on us to get them where they need to go, to get them the things that they need, and just to maintain that sense of independence and to know that there are people out there who care, who are going to help them, and who are going to check on them. So if there's anything that you can do, whether it's donate a couple of hours of your time, make a one-time donation, or a recurring gift, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated, not only by caregivers, but by the entire population that we serve.
We're helping the generation that once helped us, or we're feeding the generation that once fed us. Whether it's a $5 donation or a $10,000 donation, everything helps.
Donations are the lifeblood of an organization. And without donations, these wonderful services might be cut down, they might be eliminated. And this is such a critical time for people to be helping other people. Even if it's just a little amount, it's so desperately needed. And that's my wish, that this works and that happens.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jim and Amy Lynn, for all you do to help our seniors. And Cynthia, if you're watching, you are amazing. Thank you for sharing your personal experience. I'm so glad you're getting what you need and will continue to do so, in your words, straight through to the end. And to you, our Mardi Gras guests, now comes a really important part of our time together. I'm asking you, dig deep, give what you can to help us continue doing what we're doing. 94 cents of every dollar goes directly to our programs and services, and it stays right here in New Hampshire. Thank you.
All right, folks, you just heard Karen, so please do not let her down, because we're at a really critical part of the evening and we need your help. Many of you out there have received a text message with a link for you to make your gift. If you don't get that, go to the website that you see on the screen and click the Fund a Need gift button. We're already tallying gifts that are coming through, so thank you. Speaking of Fund a Need, here we go. We're going to start big, we're going to start bold with our Fund a Need ask of $10,000. Am I crazy? Maybe. Let's see what happens. What would a gift of $10,000 do? Well, it would feed all 420 of the caregivers' homebound seniors for a month. Or it would pay for 1/3 of a much-needed new cargo van for the caregivers to deliver groceries to its seniors. And I do have $10,000. Ha! A $10,000 gift from Paul S. Thank you, Paul S. But wait, I'm being told, Paul S. says he will match, dollar for dollar, the next $10,000 gift. That means that if you give $10,000 right now, Paul S. will give another $10,000. Amazing. Thank you again, Paul S., and to anybody else who can't commit to that amazing level. All right, and I see that Karen is approaching. Have you noticed socially distanced? Yeah. I'm 6 feet from her hand, so it's all good. All right, Mr. A is making a $7,500 gift, and he is matching the next two. $7,500 gifts that come in. Again, $7,500. So what would that kind of money do? Well, remember that van and those isolated seniors. This is amazing. Thank you, Mr. A, and anybody else who can't commit to a gift of $7,500. All right, how about $5,000? $5,000 can pay for 5 days of inpatient substance use disorder treatment for a veteran at Liberty House. So who can make a gift of $5,000? Click that button. Hit it. The gifts are coming in, and Karen is back, so this is usually good news. We have a gift of $5,000 from Kevin Barrett. Kevin, thank you. Kevin Barrett, $5,000. Oh, and remember Paul S.? He is still with us. Karen is on the phone with him now over there and said that he will match Kevin's gift of $5,000, right? It was $5,000? Well, he just matched your gift, Kevin. See what a difference that you both have made. And he will match the next $5,000 that comes in as well. Unbelievable. Truly one of Catholic Charities' champions. Thank you, Paul S. And, of course, Kevin. All right, we're at $2,500. Who can make a gift of $2,500? $2,500 will keep 5 low-income seniors warm this winter by providing fuel for their homes. Make your gift now and help a senior or a struggling family heat their home. Thank you, Dan Cronin and Lisa M., for your gift of $2,500. So, who else can join them? All right, we find ourselves now at the $1,000 level of giving. $1,000. What will that do? It can feed 10 of our resident Liberty House veterans for a week. Now, wait a minute. Remember we mentioned a matching gift earlier? The next 5 $1,000 gifts will be matched dollar for dollar by our generous matching gift sponsor, the Knights of Columbus Bishop Peterson Council 4442. Thank you, Deacon Lee and Michelle Fosnock. Also, John Patnaud and Bob Gossett for your $1,000 gift. Your gifts will be matched dollar for dollar, so keep them coming. Hello. Thank you, Karen. Oh, I have another $1,000 gift to announce before we get to $500. Garrett and Christine 80, also Susan and Tom Heward, your gifts will be matched, so there was a couple more $1,000 gifts that will be matched. Nice. All right, so now we're at $500, which will pay for a 6-week support group for those struggling with grief or difficulties coping with the COVID crisis. And we have another matching gift sponsor. Thank you, USI Insurance Service and AIM Mutual Insurance Company, for joining forces to match the next 10 $500 gifts. Make your $500 gift now, and the first 10 people to make their gift will be matched dollar for dollar. We're so grateful for our sponsors. We have $500 from Catherine Mirabili, Joe Raska, David H., Keith and Beth Jorgensen, take your pick, which one do you like better? Scott Tardif, Alan Craigie, Roberta LaPlante. All of your $500 gifts will be matched dollar for dollar. But wait, there's more. Thank you. Another $500, several actually, from Adam Coughlin, E.J. Powers, and Tina Leger. All of your gifts are being matched. That's so important. And just in, $750 from Deacon Rick and Linda Hilton. You guys are totally into this, and boy, we sure appreciate it. All right, let's check in on the thermometer now. I'm kind of curious to see, with that flurry of cards that Karen brought me and all your gifts, I want to see how we're doing. And we are at $132,550. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, but wait, we're not done yet. Help us reach our goal with a $250 gift. $250 provides a 1-month supply of diapers for 5 babies at our Place Pregnancy and Parenting Education Program. Don't forget now, all the money raised for this year's event stays right here in New Hampshire to support the programs and services for those who are struggling. So, let's thank a few more people who are digging deep to help us tonight. Adam Coughlin, Matthew Toy, thank you, Matthew. Kate and Andrew Demers, Lisa Henderson, Brendan Williams. Thank you to Charles Martell, Jeremy Vayu, Sean Hood, Lynn Yeager, also Linda Senecal, Russ Ouellette. I can't read them all, folks, but they keep coming in, and that is Karen's cue to bring me some more names of the $250 variety. That includes Catherine Davey, Elizabeth Hutchins, Monsignor Kelly, and another gift. They're at it again. Kate and Andrew Demers, another $250. Thank you so much. All right, we're now at $100. Your gift can fund 4 months of grocery deliveries to a homebound senior. Make your gift of $100 now, please. Help us get over the top. Thank you to Tom Snow, David Brooker, Drew Twitchell, Jeff Hyatt, Sandra LaCroix, Shalene Casilli, Jessica Kelly. You guys all rock. Thank you. And look at this. Look at all the names on here. This is fantastic. We said no gift is too small, and we mean it. $50 can provide gas for a valuable Liberty House veteran, so he or she is able to drive to work. And we're almost done here, folks, and I probably should just take a second because I just looked down and saw this is in the $100 giving category. Peter and Kathy Drexel, Richard and Jean Frechette, also Betty Erickson, Jack and Sarah Harkins, Donald Pelletier, Damon Swope also contributing today, Jude Tebow, Dean and Kathy Williams, Richard Kelly, and Edward McCabe. So, wanted to make sure that we got you guys and acknowledged our gratefulness to you. Honestly, any amount that you choose to give is so greatly appreciated. Folks, this is fantastic, and as we wrap up the show, I encourage you to continue to make your gifts. We will be updating the website as those gifts come in. Now, I did promise you a hint for the answer to one of the raffles in the game book, and the hint is the answer to one of the questions is next to the Health Pro Heritage ad. They just happen to be our Saint sponsor. Leave it to a saint to give a hint, right? Now you have until next Tuesday, February 23rd at 5 p.m. to enter those game book raffles and to bid on those auction items. So, deep breath, time to take one last look at the thermometer, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. $169,725. Oh, so close to our $200,000 goal. Will we get there? Well, you're going to decide that over the next week or so. Please keep those donations coming and push us over the top. And on behalf of everyone at Catholic Charities New Hampshire and those they serve, thank you for joining us and for your generosity. And have a good night, everybody.